second to allow Kate Pastusha to attend the meeting by teleconference. Motion by Betty Duncan, seconded by Jim Dillon. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Welcome, Kate, to a new year with our infrastructure.
Thanks. If you guys can talk into your mics, that would help me a lot. Thanks.
Okay, I'm talking right straight into it, and Jenny is sitting right there next to me, and she'll make certain. All right, looking at the first order of business, we have the minutes of the meeting that was held on November the 29th, and then we also had a special meeting of the Infrastructure Committee the night of our Christmas party, luncheon or dinner, or what do you want to call it, on December the 9th. I need a motion to look at the minutes of both those meetings. Motion by Betty, seconded by Jim Dillon. Do we have any corrections, or do we have any additions to the minutes of either one of those meetings? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to the agenda, we have the informational items. Brian is here as he faithfully attends our meetings and so forth. The Greater Peoria Sanitary District minutes. And Brian, do you have anything you want to say to us?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nothing this month other than we're more than halfway through our fiscal year. We finally got some projects awarded last month, so we're anxious to get rolling on some of those. It's been an interesting year in terms of construction projects and supply chains, as you're all aware. So we're managing through those like you are. Thank you.
I know I told you I didn't have any questions. How about anybody on the committee? Kate, do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Jim?
Brian, just for the sake of everybody here, but the new maintenance building,
Jimmy?
the new maintenance building, that was over budget, correct?
Yes, it was.
So does that go out for value engineering or rebid or?
We value engineer that through the process, and to make that one a go, we went ahead and moved some other projects around. Fortunately, being this late in our fiscal year, we're able to do that with the clarity that we have with the project. So, yeah, we've been doing that all along in the process.
For the sake of the committee, they bid a new maintenance facility building. I think what he discussed when we took the tour down there, but that came in at what, 3.8 or something, 3.5?
Yeah. Yep.
So, just making sure everybody's aware. Thanks, Brian.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. Thank you, Brian. Our next order of business is our facilities master plan, and if Mark would share his information with us.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Couple updates from last month. First project, the AV systems upgrade for the county boardroom here. We did get a PO issued with that and the details of the contract done with that. So that PO was issued last week. We're looking at a pretty long lead time though. I'm guessing late spring, early summer is what we're being told for that project. So for those items to arrive. Next one, the cooling tower replacement. If you remember, late summer, early fall, we had issues with the cooling tower at the JDC. We took some emergency capital dollars and issued a PO for that, and was told originally that wouldn't arrive till spring. Well, that cooling tower did arrive in December, and because of the nice weather, they got it installed. It's just not all hooked in and plugged in, but the cooling tower the old one was removed and it was installed, so it's all ready for hookup come when the weather gets better again in the spring. So that was a positive. And then the last one, which is a new one on here, if you go back to go back way 2019 when we did, was managing the air handling upgrade project along with the fire alarm replacement project at the jail. Originally, that project had controllers and control updates on 9 of the, I believe it was the 14 total air handling units. That project closed out in 2020 with 12 of those being complete. Finally, in November of this year, we got all the retention money paid out, and that project closed finally just in November. It took that long for us to close that out. And there was 2 air handlers that did not have controllers upgraded on. We had a little bit of money left over from a PO. We put a little leftover 2021 money with it, and we issued a PO in early December to finish those 2 air handling units. So that'll finish that project out. I know it's been a long time coming, but like I said, we did not close out that project till November of this year. It took about 11 months to get all those final things completed. So that was added to the list, and that should be done in the next couple of months, so that should finish everything out up there. I had sent the sheriff over an email earlier about that and what was going on with that, so that'll finish that. So any questions?
Question?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Mark, in regards to the boardroom, and thinking of once the project starts, what is the time frame for completion? How long will that
Well, our
take?
hope is we can put it in between your meetings.
Oh, really? Okay, great.
Hopefully we can get some of the infrastructure work done and everything done and ready, and we can put it in between meetings. That would be the goal, but we'll
Great.
see. We will not start that until everything is here and everything's
course,
lined
yeah,
up
that
so
makes
that we
sense.
can heads down, get it done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll wait until all those pieces arrive.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
Good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? Kate, do you have any questions?
Nope. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mark. Okay, we're into our resolutions. Need a motion on this first one for an approval of an engineering company for the Cedar Hills Drive resurfacing. Motion by Dylan, seconded by Duncan.
Good afternoon. Resolution is a $58,581 engineering contract with Herman and Associates to do some design for resurfacing of Cedar Hills Drive between Route 40 and Bristol Hollow Road. If you're familiar with the area, Bristol Hollow is just at the bottom of the hill. We're actually going to go a little bit east of that, where a truck lane starts. If you've been through the area at all, you'll understand how poor a condition it is. The PCI is rated a 50. I suspect it's probably a lot lower than that right now. So this is for them to go in. We've had to do some patching over the years. We just make sure the super elevation is correct. We're going to have some patching to do on the shoulders and things like that. So we're going to bring a firm in, do the plans for us since we're a little short-staffed at highway. The goal is to get this under construction this summer.
And this will come out of motor fuel tax.
Correct.
Now you say you hope to get it done this summer. The resurfacing, the engineering will start as soon as.
Yes. The engineering will start as soon as it's approved at the
Yeah.
board meeting after we get the contract signed, and then the goal is to get it under construction late this summer.
Excuse me. Any questions? Jim?
Jeff, so is that an overlay, or are they gonna tear the old asphalt out and new base and go in there? That's part of what Herman's to determine.
We have to do some patching. The shoulders are really bad. They're almost gravel. So we're gonna have some areas where we're gonna have to do patching, but other than that, it's a mill and overlay.
So if anybody hasn't driven on that road, this is long overdue. I know I've even had to call Amy and Jeff about concerns about the shoulder being a 1.5 foot drop off where and they can put rock on there and it doesn't fail. 6 months later, it's all gone and you're back to. So this will be welcome news to most people that live out that way and travel on this road, which 3,500 cars a day, I imagine most of them are going down to Cap Mossville every day. So thank you. Appreciate it.
I have a question in regard, I didn't hear your response to that. Are you tearing everything out more or less? And then when you talk about overlay,
No, we're gonna do a mill, or do a mill and an overlay. And we're gonna look and see if we need to do 1.5 or 2 inches, so we'll go
Okay.
down. If we can afford it, we go 2 inches down and then put 2 inches back in, get rid of the junk on top essentially. So, but there are areas that the pavement is bad in a couple spots, and there's several areas the shoulder is very bad, and that'll be it, completely dig out down to a new base and put asphalt back in as a patch.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, moving on. Thank you, Jeff, for that first one. And you're going to handle the other resolution as well. Okay, you need a motion to, thank you, Betty. And seconded by Dylan. What?
Nobody voted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't have you vote on it. Oh, thank you. No, I was going to go next item. I just trying to get through this quicker than Dylan. Yeah, Dylan's pressing me because he's got all these zoning board meetings coming, zoning cases. Okay, thank you, Counsel. And I'm going to call the question if no one has any more input in regard to this first resolution. All those in favor of this resolution signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Kate. All those opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on now to the second resolution, which has to do with another engineering firm. And this is Millennium, which we have used before. And we need a motion on that by Ms. Duncan and seconded by Mr. Dillon.
This resolution is for a construction engineering agreement with Millennia Professional Services to oversee the construction of the Dogtown Road Bridge that will be replaced this summer. It was on the federal IDOT letting back in November, and Stark Excavating got the contract for $1.9 million. We need someone to oversee it. Again, a little bit short-staffed at Highway. We were going to have one of our staff members do this, but then we had another project get delayed, so we're moving some people and firms around so we can make it a little more efficient for everybody. So we asked Millennia to oversee this. The contract amount will be $238,369. This will come out of the Rebuild Illinois funds, which are motor fuel tax, but that is where the funds will come from.
Okay, and the other part of this big project, of course, we've already seen the state awarded this to Stark, and that is nearly a $2 million job, which will be a big job, and 20% of that's going to come out of our county bridge fund. And but what we're concerned about today is Millennium, which we've had good luck with. I talked to Amy about this. They're a firm out of Morton, and we've used them before. And you notice what basically the Transportation Department tells us their problem is, the Highway Department, they lack enough help. I think I've heard that before.
Unfortunately, it's not just us.
I
all
know.
the firms around here, it's not just us right now.
I understand. I understand. I'm not blaming you guys for anything. But anyway, they've proven to be a pretty good expert in this area, and so that's why they have decided to have Millennium, and they'll be there for the whole project.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Anyone have any questions about this particular resolution? Jim?
I think it's important to notice for the last contract that we gave out was a certified WBE, and I believe Millennia is a certified MBE.
They have a qualification. I'm not sure which one it is, but
Yeah,
yes.
so both of these firms that were awarded contracts today fall under state guidelines for, I think Millennia is, I think, a certified MBE, minority business. And I know Herman is a certified woman-owned business. So just want to point that out when we try to meet contracts. Both of these contracts, I know there's partly, well, even the Herman one has Millennia as a sub to that, so that one would be 100%. So just wanted to point those both out for anybody viewing or for the board to understand.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. Anyone else with any questions for Jeff? All right, I'll call the question on this resolution. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All those opposed signify by saying nay. Ayes have it. Resolution adopted. Moving on to our legal counsel. She will make a recommendation to us, and then we'll take a motion on it. Jenny?
Yes, so this has to do with your review of your executive session minutes, and it remains a recommendation of the state's attorney's office that all previously held minutes continue to be held because the need for confidentiality does still exist, and to destroy the executive session audio recordings that are more than 2 years old, except for those that relate to pending litigation.
All right, need a recommendation from our, to vote on our learned counsel's recommendation to us. Motion by Betty, seconded by Mr. Dillon. Calling the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
Thank you, Kate. Okay, moving on to miscellaneous. Does anybody have anything for miscellaneous? I don't know whether, Jim, you wanted to mention anything in regards to possibility of a future location. Because we have many things to deal with at the important facilities such as our county jail, it's been recommended that we possibly have our meeting out there in one of the upcoming months, and we'll look at the schedule and so forth. And probably what we would do is flip a meeting with another committee's, maybe Mr. Dillon's, and we would hold our meeting where at the same time, I should say at the time that they normally would hold it. That way we could be the last one, and it would be easier for us to attend and have a walkthrough of the jail facility. So keep that in mind. We're looking at probably March or April at this particular event. Make it easier for the highway department to get there. A little tougher for Brian. All you gotta do is go up over the hill, though. You jump on 474 there, and Jim.
Thanks, Coach. I think that would be wise, though, to have one there, being all the facility needs and the amount of money that we've allocated coming up. Mark Little can probably attest, or Sean Stanley, who runs that, and I know the sheriff can attest to it. The jail has significant needs and upgrades. I believe it was built, correct me if I'm wrong, Shauna, in the 80s. So a lot of, as you see with the air handlers and everything else, it's been end of life cycle for a lot of the mechanicals and other components, door components and everything else. And it's a everyday use facility that's, let's just say, hard on that facility. So I think it wouldn't hurt for the board to put eyes on certain things and listen to the staff out there of possible recommendations. I know Mark has a good grasp on it, and Calvin and everybody else, but it probably would help for the board to actually physically see it to understand it. So I think that's a good idea. Thank you, Chairman.
Okay, anybody else, for miscellaneous? If not, then this meeting is adjourned.